It's only been available to trade for about a week, but Robinhood Markets has had massive volatility. Just this week, we've seen it trade as high as 84. At the time of recording, it's trading at 50. So what's the next major move going to be for this popular online broker? Robinhood Markets only came to the market on the 29th of July this year. So it's been a very recent IPO. It was a disappointing first day, but this week it has all kicked off for Robinhood. We saw the price the 3rd of August close around $45, $46. The next day it touched 84, and at the time recording it's trading at 50. So can we make any sense out of all of this? We've only got clearly a week's worth of data, but what could the next few weeks, next few months hold for Robinhood? As usual, I'll talk a bit about the company now, some of the recent news, some of the recent moves, then we'll come back and look at this in a bit more detail. Hello, I'm David Jones from Capital.com, and I thought, well, this time round on the Stocks channel, let's do a quick update on Robinhood, because we have seen massive volatility. They only came to the market, what was it, about a week ago, just over a week ago, but we've seen some crazy swings this week. So I thought, well, let's just take a step back and have a look at what's been going on. So as usual, in this video, I'll talk a bit about the most recent news around Robinhood, some of the levels to watch, bearing in mind we're only a week into public trading. Then we'll jump back onto the platform and see if we can make any sense of it. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, if you could click on subscribe, it does help support the channel, and it means we can continue to push out lots of different content on the stocks we cover in the weeks ahead. Right, let's get into it and take a look at Robinhood in a bit more detail. So Robinhood Markets is an online broker. There are lots of online brokers, but this one, it has been particularly high profile, and it was founded back in 2013. As I said, it only just came to the market. So it came to the market via IPO on the 29th of July. The price was $38 a share, and it ended up being quite a disappointing IPO, with it slipping below $34 on the first day of trading. So there was plenty of coverage in the media saying how this had been a relative flop, given the hype and the size of IPO compared to others. One of the reasons it's been such a high-profile company, it's been very popular with younger traders, newer traders, and was played a part in the meme stock mania that we saw at the beginning of this year, of course, when we saw the likes of GameStop and AMC, to name but two, getting pushed really higher. I think Robinhood was one of the more popular platforms for trading these stocks, and it actually restricted trading on some of these stocks, which got it plenty of bad publicity online. Since the float, we've seen some higher profile investors buy in. One of these, perhaps one of the best known, is Cathie Wood, who runs the ARK investment company. Great performance last year, for example, by their ETF, big buyer of Tesla over the years. So these higher profile investors perhaps was one of the reasons why we saw the stock price turn this week. So 4th of August saw massive volatility after some fairly quiet trading in the few days it had been public. So 4th of August saw a massive move, big swings on the day, and it still ended the day up more than 50% higher than the previous day's close. We'll take a look at it in a second, and it really was a crazy day. So perhaps there was an element of FOMO going on here, the famous fear of missing out as the stock price climbed. Maybe newer investors or investors who weren't in thought they're getting left behind. They jumped in and the stock gets pushed up. But of course, as is often the case with these sort of moves, we have seen a chunk of those gains being given up as the week went on. So where next for Robinhood? Was the muted reaction to the IPO wrong? And actually, we're going to see great gains. Is this 4th of August just a one-day flash in the pan, and we're going to see it drift back to where it was at IPO? Let's talk about the levels to watch, then we'll take a look at the charts. So I think on the upside, we've got some shorter term levels left intraday, around about $64, that sort of area. On the downside, I think levels to watch, $50. It's often it can be perhaps somewhat illogical, but these round numbers can be important psychological support. It wasn't far off $50 at the last close. After that, looking back to the 3rd of August intraday low, around about $44.60. But as usual, to put some color on these numbers, let's take a look on the charts. I think I should start off by saying it's, I think, virtually impossible to apply any sort of sensible technical analysis when we've only got a week's worth of data. So we're looking here at a 5-minute chart for Robinhood, just to highlight some of the moves. I mean, this was the day it all went crazy, the 4th of August. So the stock had closed at about $46 the day before, opened up at 58 the next day, touched 84, and then sold off on the 5th of August, which I'm not really that surprised by. I think, driving it here was perhaps an element of FOMO, like I talked about, lots of excitement, perhaps amongst retail traders. You can see it made its high in the first 15 minutes or so of trade, then sells off the rest of the day. I think where it gets interesting is when the dust settles a bit for Robinhood, and we've got enough data then to take a look at the daily charts rather than looking at the shorter term. But I think some levels to watch in the days ahead, if we're approaching this from perhaps a trading mentality, or we're looking to maybe buy in for the longer term, but wondering where the slide's going to stop. I'd look to see what happens perhaps around $48, $50. I said that $50 was something of a psychological level. This was the high we saw the stock trade before things really went incredibly volatile. So I'd be watching to see if we see perhaps it has an acceptance of price around the $48 to $50 mark. I think see how it performs there. I've said when we've looked at GameStop and AMC in the past, it's incredibly hard to make sense of some of these more volatile moves, even more so when we have only have a week's worth of data. But I'm wondering if we do see it weaken further from here, do we see some calmer minds prevail, and perhaps we see it stabilize somewhere in the trading range from where it was before? So a really exciting week for Robinhood, particularly the 4th of August. It's not surprising it's given these gains up, and I think perhaps the more calmer, longer term investor perhaps may want to sit on their hands for a bit longer from here and see where the equilibrium is for Robinhood. It's all very exciting chasing the market, but of course if you'd have bought in the first few minutes of the 4th of August, you're currently sitting on a loss of about 30% in a little over a couple of days. So I think it's one to come back to in the weeks ahead when we have a bit more information about how it's trading and when things calm down. That's it for this update in Robinhood after an incredibly eventful first week of trading following their IPO. We'll come back to it when we've got a bit more data and we'll see perhaps if things calm down. But for now, from me, David Jones and Capital.com, we'll leave things there. Good luck with your investing. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.